Welcome to the 8th and final slideshow video from the Columbia Basin Business Retention and Expansion Project. In this last video, we will be discussing next steps and action areas that may help the region move forward in terms of economic development. As mentioned before, the Columbia Basin Business Retention and Expansion Project is a report on Lower Columbia region businesses in the province of British Columbia in Canada. And this valuable project was developed and implemented by the Lower Columbia Initiatives Corporation, or LCIC, in partnership with the Columbia Basin Rural Development Institute. Let's get started. It probably seems obvious that the results of the Business Retention and Expansion Project survey can be used for both short-term planning and long-term planning. Organizations that may find this information very useful include the Trail and District Chamber of Commerce, the Lower Columbia Initiatives Corporation, the Rossland Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Trail Community Skills Center, Community Futures of Greater Trail, the Lower Columbia Community Development Team Society, all the different municipalities in the area as well as the regional district, School District 20 Kootenay Columbia, and Selkirk College, to name a few. However, in terms of short-term planning, several key issues must be taken into consideration. For example, whatever short-term actions are taken, it is advisable they be implemented within 6 months or less. They need to be highly visible, and they need to have big impact but require small input. It's really important the economic development team that moves forward on this project chooses to launch some quick action initiatives. The main criteria for long-term planning and long-term success, of course, is patience and commitment. Whatever actions are taken as a result of the BRE cannot be flashes in the pan. Some of the possible outcomes from the BRE survey are that several community economic development strategies can be implemented. The results of the survey can be integrated with official community plans across municipalities, and committees can be struck, as can action groups, to deal with various action areas. There are several specific steps that can be taken. First and foremost, the region must identify the key themes that came out of the survey. Much work has been done on this already. Then several business stakeholder forums must be held wrapped around those themes. Introductory stakeholder forums have already been held in 3 communities. However, now we must drill down and get a lot more specific. As awareness of the economic potential identified in the BRE grows, it may even be prudent to conduct online versions of the stakeholder forums using Adobe Connect or some other such online meeting software. This would make it much easier for businesses to participate as well. Once all the needed brainstorming forums are completed, it will be reasonable to have a facilitated action planning session with economic development stakeholders and industry representatives. Based on the results from the forums and planning sessions, there needs to be a finalization process of priority actions, the development of related action plans, and an updating of existing economic development plans. There also needs to be the development of relationships with a broader network of support providers at the regional, provincial, and national scales to support implementation. Finally, we need to establish a monitoring program to assess the impact of implementation efforts. Specific potential action areas include site selection support for expanding businesses. Businesses in the region are planning significant investment in expansion over the near term, and over half of that investment will likely be spent on real estate. Many businesses stated they will need a new site to support their expansion needs, or they stated the lack of a suitable premises is preventing their expansion. Actions on this theme may involve assisting in the location of potential expansion sites, or they may relate more to the municipal development approval process. Local government red tape and inefficient approval processes were often cited by respondents as a barrier to economic development in the community. Another possible action area is the promotion of local supply sourcing. Only about 1/3 of respondents purchased the majority of their supplies from local suppliers. And while the vast majority of businesses stated that needed suppliers are not available locally, many of the products identified as lacking actually are available in the region. Additional research could help determine the barriers to businesses buying locally. A potential action on this theme may involve connecting businesses with relevant suppliers, both to improve business knowledge of the types of supplies that are available locally and to ensure suppliers' product lines meet the needs of local businesses. A third action area is the creation of accessible, relevant, and affordable training opportunities. A lack of skilled staff was commonly cited as a barrier to expansion of businesses. and the vast majority of respondents said that workforce skill development is important to the competitiveness of their business. Professional development areas most often listed by businesses as lacking include retail, hospitality and customer service, business management and marketing and sales. Uptake on training opportunities can be low in the region due to the limited time and financial resources available to small businesses. Therefore, any actions on the same should consider business schedules and training budgets. Educational and training institutions in the region could be approached as potential collaborators in meeting businesses' training needs. Yet another possible action area is to implement some recruitment initiatives. About half of businesses indicated they have experienced challenges recruiting new employees, especially mechanics and sales and service personnel. A strong majority of respondents acknowledge that expansion of the workforce is important to their business competitiveness. Currently, respondents primarily recruit locally. Therefore, actions on this theme could involve assisting businesses with recruiting farther afield, either individually or as a business community. Recruitment initiatives could promote the business climate factors that respondents identified as strengths of the region, such as cultural and recreational amenities, as well as schools. A final action area to possibly come out of the BRE project is support for succession and business planning. Business and succession planning are critical to the health and longevity of businesses. Yet less than a quarter of respondents to the survey indicated they have a formal succession plan, and more than half do not have an up-to-date business plan. Open, instructive training sessions have the potential to provide a base level of support to a large number of businesses in the area. However, given the importance of individual circumstances in business planning, a more targeted one-on-one assistance program could result in greater overall benefit by providing a higher level of support to at-risk businesses. Thank you for watching this final video in the Business Retention and Expansion Project video series, hosted by LCIC and the Columbia Basin Rural Development Institute.